Hey there, welcome to the program. This is Our Healthy Homes, ourhealthyhomes.com, 651-775-9194. That's the big website and the phone number that you can connect with the lovely and talented Sheila. She'll get you started on getting your home lined up to be a healthy home where your family can live long and thrive and be powerful and energetic and do all the things that you want to do throughout your family's life. When we talk about the 4 pillars of a healthy home, we talk about the real estate, of course, because we are, of course, Coldwell Banker agents. We talk about the ecosystem, what goes on inside the house. And that really is the chemicals that you have, your air quality, your water quality, all that stuff that impacts your life. Then how does it roll off onto your body? The 3rd pillar of the healthy home is your body. You got to exercise, you got to be strong, you got to be powerful. And then your mind and your spirit, the 4th pillar of a healthy home. And if all those 4 pillars are not in place and strong, the roof comes tumbling down. So we are coming into the holiday. We're in the middle, actually, of the holiday seasons. And there's lots of food around, lots of cookies. I must admit, I indulged in a few cookies yesterday. I'm a cookie guy, you know.
I'm not.
I love cookies.
I'm not.
So we had a few cookies yesterday, and you know, my friend and I go to the coffee shop. Kelvin and I go to the coffee shop every a couple times a week, and we're sitting there, and we know, these people come in, and they are fat. You know, they are heavy. And the women come in. I'm going to pick on women now because it's men too, but a lot of times you see it with women. They're pushing over 40 years old, and they got this like spare tire going around them, and they seem to be good everywhere else, but they got this spare tire going bulging out of their pants, muffin top. And as we get into this time of the year, the sweaters come out. The sweatshirts come out, the big heavy jackets come out, the cover-up happens, and then all of a sudden,
capes.
It gets baked in. So Sheila's come up with a program, the Muffin Top Meltdown, and we just launched that program this week. We have ads running on the big YouTube channel and on Google. So you can click on that and get signed up, have a meeting with her on the Muffin Top Meltdown, Sheila. It's guaranteed. If you just do, because she's done it. So if you
do what I say.
If you just do it, it's like buying a gym membership. You know, you can buy a gym membership if you never. I've had a gym membership. True story. I've had a gym membership for how long, Sheila?
A long time.
40 years, 30. Well, it was one of the original lifetime.
Well, no, because we bought it from a client.
Yeah.
So it was probably 33 years ago.
All right. So it was one of the original lifetime founders memberships.
Fee never changes. You know, all the stuff.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Great.
Haven't been there in. I bet it's 15
But
years.
you like your body weight exercises. I don't.
Know.
I like to go to the gym.
Sheila
right?
goes to the gym. We take it. Our grandson goes, and
right.
So it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, but if you buy a gym membership and you don't go to the gym, guess what? You don't get strong.
And let's just with the program, like the highlights of the program, it isn't just food and exercises.
Right.
Like that's what people think is like it's food and exercise. It isn't. I could talk for hours on why the body doesn't work as well after 40,
especially for the women over 40.
Especially for the women, yep. It's just the way
biological.
Our bodies are, and hormones and all sorts of things. But it can be done. You can do it. You've got me, you've got the support, you've got the products, and you've got the community, and that's the most important part, I think, is the community of people to help you and support you in that. So that's what I've got around the Muffin Top. So go to Our Healthy Homes, hit the
big pink button in the right hand
button,
corner.
Mountain Top Muffin button. But today I'd like to have just a little chat since I got 2 guys in front of me. Okay, because you mentioned women. I'm going to talk about guys.
Okay.
Imagine how that happened.
Yeah.
And so I was reading an article the other day about the colonoscopies. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
So colon cancer, all of that. And the 3rd leading cause.
Why is that a guy thing?
Well, most guys typically.
Women have colons too.
I realize that, but we're better about.
I just want to clarify that.
We're better about.
I thought you were going prostate.
We're better about. I was going to go. We're better about like just making the appointments. Like I'm your scheduler, right?
Sure.
So unless you're sick, you're not going to even make the appointment, right? So, but medical mishaps is the 3rd leading cause of death. Okay.
You also saw Mark turned away.
Yeah, he did turn away. He's like, get ready.
Yeah.
He's getting ready.
Here we go. I'm
Putting
like,
up
Colin was getting really nervous there for a second.
And anyway, so we in this show and in our life is let's try some natural things first, right? So for the women, I don't do the mammograms because there's some studies around if you have breast cancer and you get the mammogram and it squeezes the tissue, it can spread it. Okay,
Right.
so I do thermographies. Okay, so there's new ways to check your colon, men and women, that doesn't have to start with a colonoscopy. Okay. So that cute little commercial about the colon guard, the cute little box is cute, and you can order the box,
Poop in a box,
send it in, and you can do that. One of our friends that works at Any Lab Test now, she's the manager there in Lakeville. She has a new blood test now where you can take your blood. Okay, I'm way better about taking my blood, right, than doing the colonoscopy thing, right?
Okay.
I'd much rather have you take my blood.
Sure.
And if there's 2 enzymes that are present in the blood, that says, dude, you better get the colonoscopy.
Okay.
Right.
You need to
So
check it
there's
out.
just like the thermography for the women and the if there's places that are fire engine red on that thermography,
Go check it out.
Don't get the mammogram. Skip it and go to an MRI.
Right.
So there's ways to test without having to have colonoscopies, because I'm gonna invite you to Google how many deaths there are every year from colonoscopies.
Because they get punctured. Yeah.
So it's a big deal. Okay. So just coming into that, we've got health. I'm going to get healthy for the new year. So I'm going to go start with all my things that I need to get checked out and things like that. So there's ways to be able to get those things checked out with having to go through a lot of some of those
blood draw is something you could do at any given time.
Exactly.
You don't need that ridiculous prep that you need
Right.
for the other procedures.
Right.
So that has great appeal.
Yes, right, it does. The other thing I want to quickly mention is I love to speak. I love to do lunch and learns. I can make my talks short. I can make them long. And so I've recently been reached out to from a couple of people to do some talks and presentations at their businesses to just talk about how to just reduce the chemicals in the environment, because it is affecting your lungs and your
In your home. I mean, if you can't be
Yep.
safe when you go home at night, everyone lives in the world. So
Right.
we have to go out in the
Right.
world. We live in a fallen world. We got to
Yep.
go out in the world and
Yep.
deal with the chemicals, the pollution, and all of that. But when you come home at night, your home should be your sanctuary.
Mhm.
And that's what that education is all about. Tells you how to do it, steer you in some directions to get some products that you can use, give you some ideas for I'm a water guy, so I mean we bought a water machine to make. We don't sell them, so I'm just saying, but I bought a water machine that distills the water, makes the best coffee ever, and that's all I drink is distilled water and the best water, because when you're drinking city water, tap water, you are drinking. They're very good at taking the biologicals out,
right.
But they're not so good at taking the chemicals out of the water. So you're
And
drinking.
the chemicals are coming from everybody else, and the prescriptions that they're on
that are getting flushed down the toilet
yeah,
and going into the treatment system and spun around and come right back out your tap again.
Sure, the California.
Well, I just heard recently, and I don't have anywhere to state it, but there was a conference, and then people were getting like sick at this conference, and they were like they're all stoned or whatever it was, and they tested the water, and there was fentanyl in the water, and it wasn't that somebody put fentanyl in the water.
It came from the tap water.
It was the tap water that there was fentanyl in the water. So much of that is going down the drains.
And water's a big deal. Water's like a number one thing that's on the list to switch.
Water's a big deal. You got to drink some of it.
Yeah, you do.
All right.
You do.
So we'll go out to break. When we come back, we've got Mark Ostrom in the studio from the Joy Collaborative. I'm all excited about it because it is a wonderful nonprofit organization. Go to Joy Collaborative. Is it .org or
Yep,
.org.
joycollaborative.org. And you can learn about it if you want to just take some time. Come back after the break. We're going to talk about it. While you're in there looking at the website, click on the link where it says donate and throw a couple bucks in there, and you'll feel better about yourself. And as we come into the end of the year, this is Our Healthy Homes, ourhealthyhomes.com, and we'll be right back after these messages. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Okay, so we are talking to Mark Ostrom, the Joy Collaborative. And so for those of you who don't know what that is, Mark, just give us a little bit, what is the Joy Collaborative and what is its mission?
Joy Collaborative is a 501c3 nonprofit organization based in the Twin Cities. We do spaces for kids with life-limiting conditions. So that could be individual family homes or program spaces. We work with the local design community as well as with the backing of our donors to make transformational space for youth.
Okay, so in English.
Okay, come back.
What does that mean?
Okay, so we work with kids who have a medical diagnosis. We work
like
with
what? Example.
cystic fibrosis, spina bifida, fill in the blank.
Okay.
Medical diagnosis, homelessness, and poverty. So those are the kinds of people that we're working with.
All right.
And we've done projects in single-family homes. So we just did a really cool tree house for a kid with cystic fibrosis. But we've also done program spaces, which would be places like Ronald McDonald House or the Firefighters for Healing Burn Recovery Center in downtown Minneapolis. How we get that done is we partner with my friends in the local design community. So that's interior designers, architects, the product vendors, electricians, plumbers, millwork, all of that to create really fantastic spaces.
And
for
that
those
was
who
in that
otherwise,
commercial grade, in that commercial area of design, or no, not necessarily?
Not necessarily.
Okay, so residential as well.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. Okay.
Yep. So we all come together as a Joy Squad per project and really make some transformations that affect the daily living of those that we're serving. This is not just paint stickers. This is not let's make it look better.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting at the core of what is not working to keeping this person or these people from progressing.
So just to be clear, you're not going in and rehabbing an entire house.
No.
So what are the parameters then that you use in the guidelines?
Sure. Well, there's a whole vetting process, and we don't need to talk about that. But square footage wise, we're at 300 to 500 typically.
So a
square
room,
feet.
a bedroom, maybe a playroom.
Yep. Some shared
room.
space. Yep. It could be some communal space in the case of like a Ronald McDonald House. But because we're getting things through in-kind goods and services, we're not going to be doing 10,000 square feet.
Oh,
You know,
sure.
it's just beyond.
Right,
But
right.
we do offer a fee-for-service angle as well. So there's another division of our business where people who do have larger projects who do want our help, we certainly can do that.
You answered my question, because say in the case of a Ronald McDonald House or something like that, obviously if you're not going to do that for nothing,
Right.
so then they are going to contract with you to do that work.
Yeah, we figure out some kind of give and take
Uh-huh.
with those kinds of projects as we move forward. It's really case by case. And there are some projects where we do look for some kind of sponsorship, some kind of agreement in advance. If we don't tip into those dollars, great, you get them back.
All right. Do they then? Is there like some in-kind participation then? So, you pick a thing. Say you're going to do a room for a hospital, and they're going to pay you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, so we'll do this room. We're going to do this at a bargain basement price, essentially. But then the margin that you would have paid Joe Contractor to do it, we want you can donate then that to your 503, right?
501c3.
501c3, and now that's a tax deductible donation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. There's many different ways to figure out our projects. I'm a big fan of, I use the word co-creation all the time.
Uh-huh.
Like, let's figure out how this works together. Like, what is it that is the ROI that you're looking for? Is it social media? Is it response to patient experience?
Mm-hmm.
Is it something that you want to use as an employee engagement opportunity? I mean, there's many different ways that people like to work with us.
If you were looking back now, 2023 in review, what would that look like? What does your 2023 look like?
What did this year look like?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back even further. So
Okay.
I would say 21-22 was a lot of people in the industry that I know, architects, interior designers, product vendors. Like, we were very heavy in getting support from that community. 2023, the cloud started opening, and we started talking to people that were way outside of our industry that I didn't know before, that saw us on social media, or a friend told us about us, or a board introduction, meeting, things like that. So the exposure, the growing of the nonprofit has been pretty exciting to see.
When you reach out to those people connect with you, are you seeing now that larger organizations, hospitals or schools or some of those organizations are saying, hey, do you realize that we have nothing in this building that's adaptable for our patients or our students or our clientele? We need to do something. And how does that design thing look, or how does that all look?
Well, you've seen the Joy Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a first step into doing those kinds of spaces. And that came from directly working with our clients and listening to them and hearing that we have a need. We've got a larger neurodiverse population that we're not able to serve in the real estate that we have. So we said, well, hey, if we could provide some space to you that's mobile, is that going to be a benefit? And the reaction that we've been seeing has just been overwhelmingly positive. So that was really fun to see, not only people with autism, people with whatever kind of condition relax within 5 or 10 minutes. That has been really profound. So I'm excited to see the kinds of events and partnerships that we're going to be seeing particularly this spring and summer.
Would like a school rent it out for an event, or like how does that work with that Joy Mobile?
We've had sponsors reach out and say, I want to bring it to this location.
Okay.
Right? Or I want to make a connection with you to let's pick one, the Blaine soccer tournaments.
Okay.
Tons of people there, tons of potential benefit there for people who are stressed to come in and just get a 5 or 10 minute
respite.
Recenter. Yeah. So I'm off track of your earlier question, but working, you were talking about, how do we start working with clients? So it's been really cool when you asked about 2023. In the last month, I've had 2 requests to do clinic and healthcare spaces.
Oh, interesting.
So they're seeing the work, they're seeing the therapeutic design that we're doing, and I'm really wildly excited about what that's going to look like.
Well, I mean, all you have to do is just see the work, right? And the work that's done, can you just come in and I mean, I got so many ideas just to make my house different and fun. And I mean,
Let's do it, Sheila.
it would be, it isn't just, I mean, the quality is there, right? And the people that are doing this and contributing their time and their resources and their talents are really top notch, and their creativity is what I love, because I like to think I'm creative, but
I love it because I'm not creative.
Well, it's like, cool that you both
every time somebody does something, I go, wow, how did you think who would have thought of doing that? You know?
It's really, I don't even have words sometimes. It's just but when we bring the teams together and you meet the person or people that you're going to serve, offline I'll be like, how high can we raise this bar? Because you're not going to do this again for this customer for another 10 or 20 years.
Right.
This is impacting them every single minute of every day if they're using the space often.
Right.
So what can we do that's really impactful for them? So it's really about solving the daily problem. You'll hear that from me over and over again, and then you can layer on all the cool eye candy, all the design stuff. But if it doesn't meet a functional basis, then I don't
But that's where a lot of the creativity is the functionality of it. Because like I love gadgets, right? Like and so to me, that's like my gadget world, right? Because you're making all these great, fun, creative things that need to. Do
and what you said about impacting the family on a daily basis, that's what we love about real estate. Because when you come home at night, when we sell a house to somebody or help someone buy a house, they're coming home to that place every single day. They live in it all day long. That's a tremendous, I feel, responsibility, and it impacts so many people, not just the person who purchased it, but their children and their extended families, as it becomes a gathering place for them, and all those experiences that go on around that is so rewarding. I can't even imagine.
And with that, the relationships that are all there, and the support, and just what you said about real estate, the relationships. I mean, we just went to a funeral of a client's, the whole family we've sold houses to, and it was
like going to a family
their mother,
reunion.
and it really was. It was really like going to family, and I have to, is every client like that? No, but I have to believe that most of them that you're serving are lead into that, right?
We do get to build a really great relationship. And to your point about coming back, a client that we had been talking about, who has just come back from his 19th surgery, and I believe he's 12.
Wow.
So not only is his space great when he's healthy, but it's
Right.
also a recovery space for
Oh,
him
sure.
when he has this yet another unexpected surgery.
Mm.
So we've set a really good precedent for having really, to your point, social spaces
Right.
that can be fun.
And
and
so
healing.
how many in-home projects did you do this year, 2023? Well,
Oh, wait.
We'll
Let's
come
stop
back to
here. We're
that.
going to
Okay.
come out the breakdown.
Okay.
This is we're going to go out to break. I want you to go to the joycollaborative.org, joycollaborative.org. Just check it out.
yeah.
And do what your heart leads you to do. joycollaborative.org. We're going to go out and pay some bills. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Okay, we're speaking with Mark from the Joy Collaborative. Executive Director, is that your official title? Founder and Executive Director?
Both.
Okay. So
All of the above.
I want to know, first of all, what do you think are your major challenges that you face as an organization and as a practitioner implementing your mission's goals?
Challenges are many, but they're all awesome in my opinion because, this company started as a company of one from a kitchen table. So now to have, what we were starting to build is pretty exciting. So challenges are a couple things. One is just maintaining the growth and just being able to react to all the attention that we've been getting. Like I just mentioned, we had three different press organizations contact me this week. So, that's a distraction from what I...
It is. And then how
but
do you
it's
handle
great.
that structurally within your organization, a company of one?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you've got, as you grow, there's staffing demands and those types of things.
Yeah, so we have an amazing board of 8 people. We will be expanding within 2 years to 15 people. And of the 8, all of them are amazing. I could sit down with any one of them, ask them to do something, and they would get it done.
And so what do you
They have
want?
amazing talents.
Go ahead.
They have amazing talents in different disciplines that we would need as if they were staff.
Okay.
So we rely on them as volunteers
Mm-hmm.
to get that work done. So, but what's happening is like things like branding or marketing right now. We're talking with a couple different branding agencies about, can you take us under your wing? Because our board member, who's has amazing history as a content developer, brand developer, is overwhelmed. Right? She has a full-time job too.
Right.
So we need that kind of support. So when we're looking at this year, and I would say some of the stresses that we're going to be solving for, one is just managing growth and how we can find lanes for people, because we have more people now asking to get involved. So we have to find places for them to support, right? It's not just writing a check. It's like, I want to do something. So we have to make sure that's available to them. And growing our sponsorship. Like I am so thrilled that I can say we have 3M on our website now. That registers with the population,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And it's been my dream all along to say we want to be shoulder to shoulder with the amazing people in our community that are doing good. We are not just this little nonprofit, hey, pat you on the head.
Yeah,
blah,
pat
blah,
you on
blah.
the head.
Yeah, it's like, look at the impacts that we're doing. Look at what we are doing for the community through amazing design work and the hard work that it takes to do the projects that you see on our website. I mean, those don't come fast and furious.
Right.
There's a lot of really great thinking that goes on behind it.
In terms of support and outside support, when you're growing an organization like that, just like any business, you can get into a business and you say, I'm just going to figure it out myself and just kind of plow ahead. Or you can join an association and you can see how other people who have nonprofit organizations, maybe in the same or similar disciplines, but maybe in something completely different, because the structure and the growth models are all pretty similar in the tools that are used. Do you belong to any of those? Is there consultants or coaches or anything like that that you can reach out to?
Yes, we are a member of the Minnesota Council of Nonprofits. There's great programming that happens there. But on a more personal level and a more business level, I'm a member of Coalition 9, which is an entrepreneurial growth support organization. And so we have the Coalition 9 means there's no more than 9 people in our group. We meet on a monthly basis for about 3 hours, and it is a range of people in small business. Some of them are more established. They've been doing it for 20 years, but we're all about solving problems for each other. And that has been amazing. I can reach out to anybody in that group. We have built an amazing culture. And that is, it could be finance, it could be marketing, it could be whatever the question is. And that has been really helpful. I also have a couple personal mentors in nonprofit.
So back to, the growth, right? So you've got 8, you're going to shoot for 15. Yeah. Do you have those categories of what you need for those people?
Yeah, the branding one I mentioned is one.
Okay.
Legal is one. I would love to have a pediatrician on our board. It would be great to have somebody doing kind of social impact policy writing or government agency work, because there's money available there.
Grant
so they
money
could kind of they could have their feelers out for that kind of stuff, because we gotta put gas in the tank. So those are just some examples of what we're looking for. What's been fascinating though is people can find their lane within our organization. They can say, hey, that might be my day job, but I'm really good at whatever. I might have had a previous role doing this, and we vet them out. We have conversations, and some people just end up on a committee because maybe they can't commit to the time of board service. But the people who have committed to our board, I end our board meetings just flabbergasted with the talent that has been attracted.
So I'd love to give you just a little opportunity for a shout out, because who are the people that you rely on to help you grow? You mentioned the board members, but other people that help you in hands-on service and stuff like that, just to give them a little shout out and a little plug.
We would not be here without Gardner Builders. Gardner Builders is a general contractor in downtown Minneapolis. They are built their reputation on being philanthropic and hospitable in our industry, and I can't say enough gratitude about them. Space Crafting Photography has done all of our recent projects and is committed to do more in the coming year. It elevated us like I can't even tell you. We are now in Minneapolis St. Paul Magazine.
Just visually.
Because of the quality of their work. Yep. I would say, pick anyone from the design team, from the manufacturer side, from the trade partners. I can't isolate anybody there. They all come with such energy and a desire to do the best for whoever's ever sitting on the side of the other side of our client table. So those are the folks. And a couple of corporate sponsors. Affinity Plus has been very generous to us.
TheJoyCollaborative.org. Again, I just want to encourage people to go to the website, joycollaborative.org, and check it out and see the work that's being done. I'm curious about 2024 and 5 and what your vision is for that. And I'd like to hear your answer to that, because I'm feeling something inside, and I just want to know if I'm tracking with you.
You probably are tracking what I'm tracking. We hired this summer. We hired a part-time grant writer. These are all contract grant writer, accounting, and fundraising. Amazing. Through the fundraising side, the goal, as with the grant writing, is to get us to the point where we can hire 2 to 2.5 positions this year.
Okay.
And that will focus. We'll see what that looks like, but most likely a project manager to execute on the work, somebody to help with sort of administrative tasks, and then somebody to focus on the relationship building, so that I can come in and do what I'm love to do. I don't want to say what I'm good at, because it's what I love to do.
Right.
It's just talking to people and letting them know about the work and showing them examples and giving them the
stories.
You
are the face of the organization, so you need to be doing that.
Right. So for me to be doing QuickBooks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Not
and for
productive.
me to be, running around and, doing stuff, it does not make sense. And we're not going to grow, and we're going to be shackled if I continue to do that. So that's the reason for more support. We've got more projects now coming in than we can even handle, I think, in 2024, and that's actually really good. And it also gives a really great menu for people who come in and want to support us to see all the different things.
Oh,
that we're
sure.
doing.
Yeah. Because they can support a specific project if they want to.
What we like to do, because sometimes projects don't make it all the way to construction. Family life happens, right? Life stuff happens.
Yep.
And so sometimes we've done, like I said, we've done more projects for Make-A-Wish than have actually been built because life got in the way. So what we like to say is support us as a mission. You see the good work that we're doing. Come on. If you meet me, you meet the board, I don't care who it is, you see what we're doing, you see the good work. yes, please support us. And if there's a project, if there's this project over here, this homeless shelter that you really like, well, then let's make sure that you get some attention around that. If it's a brand or an agency or whatever, like, let's do that. But please understand that all of the generosity goes towards all of the work.
Mm-hmm.
And when someone comes in, if they're having a chat with you or the board or whatever, you say, well, what do you got? What do you got in the pipeline here? Why do you need my support?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we really got nothing right now, but something's coming up for sure. It's a little different than, say, we've got these 35 things that we're working on right now. We don't know which ones are going to come, but we're actively working on all of these things, and we really could use your help.
Absolutely.
That's a much better tale to tell than the other. joycollaborative.org. I'm going to keep on pounding on it because I want people to go to a joycollaborative.org.
Well, and I just, it's on our side. It's blessed to be able to, for the second year, right, host
100%.
our little jingle and mingle. And last year was great. This year, was wonderful. And
next year
now
will
the
be too
first
small
year,
of a venue.
The first year, Mark couldn't make it. So,
Yeah.
but this year, he made it. Raised a boatload. Ended up I got to push you in the pool. That was exciting, in the freezing cold pool, I might add.
I went willingly.
But just to be able to support you in whatever way that is, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the key. Is there is no little and there is no too little or too big. There's just always a way to be able to support.
The need never goes away.
Yeah.
It just becomes more recognized, and we learn ways that we can address it. To joycollaborative.org. We have to go out and pay some bills right now, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the program. Thanks for staying with us. This is Our Healthy Homes, ourhealthyhomes.com. We've been speaking with Mark from the Joy Collaborative. Last segment we talked about, I wanted to know what he was looking forward through for 24 and 25. This is what I'm hearing. Just tell me if I'm wrong. I'm hearing that you've got these bigger projects that are coming on, and I feel stress because of the fact that these bigger projects, because there's staffing concerns, there's financing concerns, there's space concerns, because as you grow, you just physically need more space for your own organization. And I'm wondering how you handle that from these larger projects, which are exciting and probably better funded or funded in the first place, versus what we first talked about, and that is the underprivileged child who just needs a bedroom that he can live in.
Yeah. So we will continue to do single family homes. We will not be doing as many as we have been in the past. And the reason is we can touch more people with these larger projects. And it's not to turn people away, but I mean, we only have so much time, right? And to your point, what you just said before is the faucet doesn't shut off.
Right.
So we have to figure out what is our capacity, what can we do? So part of the strategy is basically to build a design division to our company that can take these larger projects and just manage them and execute them.
Okay.
So that's where we are headed.
It's funny, we are so aligned in our thought process because we've been doing real estate for almost 35 years now, and people will say, well, why you should be all out on the western suburbs doing the $1 million homes, and you can make more money and you only have to sell a couple homes a year. And my answer to that is, well, first of all, in staying with the 80% middle America, we touch more lives because we help more families. And every time we help a family make a move, that cascades out into so many people. Versus just doing one house that's one family that really doesn't appreciate it anyhow because they spend half the year wherever. And that's my own hang up. But
no, it's kind of on that same line. I was talking to somebody this week who said, well, how are you growing this nationally? You've got such a great thing going. This brand is great, blah, blah, blah. And I said, are you kidding me?
Yeah, right.
Are you kidding? Why? Why would we do that to ourselves?
Right.
There's such a need right here.
Yep.
But guess what? We're growing nationally through our different initiatives, the Joy Mobile being one. Joy Sheds are another program.
So can you explain the Joy Mobile to me? Because we had the Joy Mobile at the
house for
at
the
the
Jingle
house.
Mingle,
We had the Jingle and Mingle. and I was in it, and I was really confused about what its purpose was, and what do you do with it? I was confused about what it is. How are you going to use this tool?
Sure. So, like I said before, it came from us working with other organizations, primarily with those who are autistic, and they have sensory needs, right? Their sensory inputs and outputs are not the same as ours. They experience the world completely different than ours, and they do have special needs. And the organizations, or maybe the families that work with them, need spaces that respond to those special needs. It's not just a regular space. So in working with getting input from the autism community and other families and organizations, that's how the Joy Mobile came to be. And basically what it is, it's a one-stop sensory visit. So if you're at, let's say we've been invited to the state fair.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, you're at the state fair. Your kid is melting down. They're having a tough time. They need a break. Where are you going to go?
Where are you going to go?
Bathroom,
Right.
like a porta
Yeah.
potty.
Right.
Like, where
Exactly.
are you going to go? So to be able to schedule a short time in there, and just dial into whatever you need. If it's a visual sensory experience, if it's audio, if you need to do sensory, if you need to do fidget spinners, if you need weighted blankets, if you need tactile, all of those tools are set up and flexible in the Joy Mobile to serve what it is that you need. And we're seeing people, kids who are pretty upset and dysregulated, come in and within 5 to 10 minutes are ready to go back out and enjoy the world again.
Do you see that become right now the Joy Mobile is like a large van?
Yeah.
Do you see that turning into like a Bloodmobile or a Greyhound bus tank kind of a situation, or?
We talked about that, and what kind of the response to that was, if you've got somebody who's really upset and you put them in a space that's larger with other people who are trying to calm down,
Right, it doesn't
that
work.
may not be the best solution.
Okay.
Right.
But maybe having 2 or 3 Joy Mobiles side by side could be
work.
something that
And
would
give you
work.
the flexibility to be in multiple locations.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So if
Yep.
anybody has what type of van is that you need? If anybody's got something
Sitting in
It's
the
a
back
Ford
yard
Transit
there.
they
van,
want to
yes.
they want to donate.
Hey,
What do you-
we'll
what do you-
take
what do you
take
need?
it because
What-
which is awesome.
What's the criteria for the van?
That it's not falling apart, that
Yeah.
it's not a rust bucket, that it's safe for everybody. But
I mean, like a certain size or anything?
it can go on the website. You get a sense
Okay.
of the scale. There's pictures
Okay.
on the website.
Okay.
But the idea there is we're having early conversations now around, is this a fleet?
Mm-hmm.
How, because we've got one right now,
Right.
and that's not going to be enough if it's as successful as we think it is at this point. So
Talk
that's
about the
gonna be-
Joy Shed. What is that's a new one on me. You sprung one on me.
So the Joy Shed, we just finished our first one.
Where?
In East Bethel for a boy with cystic fibrosis.
Okay.
And Isaac, who was, I went to school to work with kids. Like, that was my original thing, was to be in education with kids. And they're just so awesome. And their minds and their creativity is off the charts, right? We're working with these kids. It's so awesome. And first meeting, he's like, I've got cystic fibrosis. I have to do the special medical treatment or whatever. But I need a space away from my parents.
Oh, interesting.
And they're like, yeah, you do.
Ah,
And so, they had some wooded area in the back, so he wanted a tree house, but we have a kid put together a top 10 list of all
Okay.
the things that they wanted of a project. And it was a zip line, it was pulleys, it was hammocks, it was a secret bookcase, it was lofted areas, it was just, on and on and on. It was awesome. And I think we ticked off 9 of the 10. There was one that we couldn't. Oh, he wanted a rope ladder, and that was just, or a rope bridge, and that was beyond kind of the
Too much.
volunteer's capacity. But we just showed it to him. He was not allowed to go in it until right before Thanksgiving, which, a little kid, he's 10. It's
Yeah,
hard.
right.
It's really hard.
so this is something that you assemble in a warehouse and then take
Oh
it
no,
out, or
this
you
is all
assemble
built
it?
on site.
Built
This
on
is
site.
Built on
Okay.
site. And what was cool, what I'm getting at is, so I'm sitting there with the contractor, and I'm sitting here with the interior designer, who their firm is known for doing libraries all over the country.
Okay.
Right? Amazing, beautiful spaces. Isaac comes up and he's like, yeah, I want all the stuff, and I want a place for books.
Mm.
And we're like, what do you want? He's like, yeah, a lot. I want bookcases. And we're like, what? He's like, I love books. And she and I look at each other like, what 10-year-old
Loves
Oh,
books.
right.
2023 is looking
right.
for books?
Right.
And bless Make-A-Wish, they reach out to somebody, and I think there were about 300 comics that showed up the week before. And this kid
Wow.
loves graphic novels.
Wow.
I mean, talk about divine intervention. It was
Mhm.
really pretty awesome. So to get to the Joy Shed thing. So in working with Make-A-Wish, they've struggled delivering those kinds of projects before because contractors have not been as available as we all
Mhm.
probably
Sure.
know in
Right.
real estate and construction. And so they went and tried to buy something retail. It
Mhm.
wasn't quality, and so they called me and said, what can we do? And I said, well, let's own the problem. So we are going to put together a program that's going to be called Joy Sheds that will be available somehow online of prototype units that somehow will be customizable to the kid. That's
To
the
a
beauty
certain
of
level.
Make-A-Wish.
Yep.
Yeah, to a certain level because
yeah.
not everything can be custom.
Yeah,
That will never
exactly.
survive
Right.
that. But the cool thing about Make-A-Wish is it's personal, right? A kid wants what they want.
Right.
If they want the pink dollhouse with
Right.
the unicorn, blah,
Right.
blah, blah,
Right.
like we should be able to do that. So we'll figure out some kind of menu against these prototypes
sure.
and
Mhm.
figure out some kind of methodology and distribution so that this
You
process
could prefab them maybe someplace and panelize them.
100%.
So then
knock down.
would they just be for sale? Could
Yep.
yeah.
So
So
anybody could buy them.
right. So you've got all these people that you have to vet and qualify, but you've got somebody that's got the money, that's got the ability to
100%.
be able to, grandparents or like whatever it is to be able to purchase something for, their child, their
100%.
grandchild, whatever. They can just
Yep.
purchase that and know that it's
Yep,
going to be.
you're
done
right. You're right. I
quality
mean,
and-
it started through Make-A-Wish. I mean, that was a pain point. So we're solving for that
yep,
pain point.
right.
Uh-huh.
And then the more we talk, I was like, you guys, like grandparents want to look like heroes,
Yeah.
right? They'll do anything to make something magical. So if we can do this right, this is going to go beyond just your population of kids with, whatever the illnesses are that they've got. So I'm very excited about what might come from that.
So the orders, I'm afraid, are they going to be able to be filled?
Well, we'll see.
Well,
Hopefully, such a problem to have.
Such a
that's
problem
right.
to
It's
have, yes.
exclusive.
Right.
It's exclusive at
Yes,
this point,
yes,
right? So
right,
we'll
right.
figure that part out.
thejoycollaborative.org, ladies and gentlemen, joycollaborative.org. The Joy She Shed. I love it.
Well,
The
it's right
Joy
because it's not a
Shed.
she, and
I
it's
know
not
it.
right.
I
So
know
it's I think that's just a great idea,
Be really
right?
fun to see what happens.
So how many people are you looking at right now that are in the vetting process, and how many you think you're gonna?
Well,
out or
there's a
do-
couple of projects, a couple of referrals that went on hold that now they're coming back because their
Okay.
kid was in the hospital or whatever.
Oh,
and now they're
okay.
coming back. So we got to figure out kind of the stability of the situation there for
Sure.
the kid as well as the family.
Sure.
But like I said, there's a couple clinic spaces coming online, which are super excited. We're gonna turn this We Shed project into some things that you'll actually be able to see hopefully yet this summer,
Mhm.
so people can understand what's happening. And then there's some other projects I can't talk about yet because they're just in development.
Right.
I don't want to ruin
Yep.
the jam on that. But
It's
we
hard
do
to keep
have-
all that straight, isn't it? I mean, you have a lot of stuff going on. I mean, just a lot of.
No, he says.
In
We
silos, I think of, you got silos of ideas.
And that's exactly what it's exactly what I did. I'll show you something when we're done. But there are these lanes that we're in. They're all within helping kids with conditions.
Yep.
And we just have to figure out how we're going to continue those. I can manage a few of them, but I can't manage them.
thejoycollaborative.org, ladies and gentlemen, or go to ourhealthyhomes.com. Click on the pink button up in the right-hand corner if you're a woman over 40 with a muffin top. Sheila will help you get rid of that baby. You look great. A year from now, you'll be like a different person.
You will.
We'll see you next week.
But when he calls me sugar, I love that man with all my might. Sugar in the morning, sugar in the afternoon. Sugar after dinner, sugar in every room. He says I'm sweet as I can be. When he calls me that name, it does things to me. I tell him, honey, you can call me sugar.